It looks like the video has been circulating a lot since it was uploaded. A lot of people left comments on it. It seems to have an endless parade of comments like the one Cinnamon showed me. Chodzi mi o czytanie słów 1 do 1, a niektóre słowa się czyta się wolniej. Ale mówię, tego nie da się tak od razu. No właśnie o to cały czas mówię. Nie da się od razu tak, że będę mówił ci perfekcyjnie. Musisz to zrozumieć. Jeśli tego nie jesteś w stanie zrozumieć, no to sorry, no. Wymagasz czegoś od kogoś, kto nie używa praktycznie ani języka angielskiego od parunastu w sumie lat, tak naprawdę, nie? Jedynie co używał angielskiego, to może gdzieś tam coś napisał i w sumie czytał tylko tekst, który widział na ekranie. Nie gadał za bardzo, więc pamiętaj o tym. Nie wymagaj za dużo, nie wymagaj. Pogadamy zresztą za parę lat. Paręnaście lat. To zacznij od czytania wolniej. Czytam wolniej. Czytam zdecydowanie wolniej niż teraz. Znaczy niż wczoraj. Niestety mam wadę wymowy lekką, więc no, także... She hangs her head, turning her eyes away from me. She breathes out a long sigh. In response, I gently boop her on her head. You really do like maple, don't you, Cinnamon? You are more like best friends than sisters. Kwestia wymowy u mnie w angielskim. Nawet jeśli bym wolniej to przeczytał, bym prawdopodobnie tak samo przeczytał. She looks up at me with a wide-eyed expression. Ale spoko. Będę starał się jeszcze wolniej czytać. Zobaczymy. You are sisters, but your relationship isn't like coconuts and azukis. It's not like chocolate and vanillas either. I guess you could say that you two are on equal ground with each other. You are like two friends who really get along. They are not like coconut and azuki, where one is clearly the older sister and the other is the younger one. And they don't cling to each other like chocolate and vanilla do. But I do remember Maple always seemed troubled. Always trying to help out somehow. Worrying about whenever the result of her actions would be good or bad. It just seems like the kind of relationship that only really close friends have. That's what I meant. She furrows her brow again, and she smiles at me, but her smile seems a little ashamed. I give her another gentle pat on the head. I'm worried about Maple, too. I'm going to see if I can get any clues from her. I'm not much of a negotiator, though, so I don't know how much success I will have. Sure, I'm going to try talking to her a little too. And not to her. Maple and cinnamon are both part of my family. I want to do everything I can help. To help. Zmieszałem totalnie. I want to do everything I can to help them. O. Wydawało mi się, że tam powinno być coś więcej, ale spoko. That's the honest truth. Cut seasons in hot coming. She fidgets embarrassed. I don't mind, but why? Oh? What? Cała cinnamon. A, no ale mówisz to tak, jakbym ja w ogóle nie słuchała anglojęzycznych streamerów natywnych. A słucham. Brzmi jak brzmi, ale to dlatego, że sam nie używam. Słuchać to raz, ale wymawiasz to dwa. Samego słuchu możesz jak najbardziej słówek się nauczyć. Samego wymawiania, to tak. Ale samej poprawnej, samego takiego płynnego czytania już tak nie za bardzo, to musi po prostu trenować samemu. Ciekawe, co Simon chce sprawdzić? Yeah, right. Do that at your own house. I take my laptop away from the panting cinnamon. Yeah? And what was yeah, and what was it you were planning on enjoying? You really don't break character, do you? Wet pants. And I was just coming to think of her in a new light. Well, I guess this is what the announcer meant. She's, as usual, a slightly bothered looking cat girl. A już sądziłem, że do kogoś dojdzie. Kurde, być może doszło w wersji nieocenzurowanej. Who knows? Who knows? So, what do you think? Although for once I used a kind of tea leaf we don't usually have.
使わないリーフの取り扱いがいくら充実しててもね。うちは別に紅茶屋じゃないんだから、抑えるべき銘柄があればいいんじゃない？
Maple shrugs, waving her hand dismissively.
そもそもケーキ屋に紅茶の営業に来るって時点で話がずれてるでしょ。あんたのケーキより紅茶前に出したって意味ないんだから。
Actually, I don't know what kind of plans you had after this, so there's a place nearby I figured we could poke our heads into. There's some that's sold by the new tea shop. I leave closing the store to the others while my secretary of tea and I walk home. I steal a glance at Maples as we walk side by side. Maple seems no different from usual, though I can't say whether usual is downcast or just cold. She's doing her work, but I can tell she's not She's not putting in a ton of effort. Because she's a cat girl. I remember what Cinnamon told me earlier this evening. I take another glance at Maple's face.
何よ、さっきからジロジロ人の顔見て。
変態。はい。
やたら視線感じて気になるんですけど。
She turns her head just enough to look at me out of the corner of her eye. Oh, no, it's nothing particular, just my attempt to lie gets caught in my throat midway. Now I'm not sure what to say. I look away from Maple, who seems upset, and turn my gaze toward the night sky. Ah, my bad. Yeah, right, that's right.
何よ、一人で納得して。
Nah, it's just because I'm not that great at catching small details. I wonder if I can ask it straight.
何を改まって。
She stares at me, head cocked suspiciously. Ugh. I turn my head back towards her and meet her gaze. You know that video from when you were a kitten? When you said you wanted to be a singer? Why was that?
そういうことね。
She idly runs a hand through her hair and lets out an extricated seek. Maple has probably guessed what I really want to ask about by now.
恋猫でもない私に残業させるとか。何かあるのかと思ったら、そんなこと聞きたかったの？
What kind of person do you take for me?
バニラ風に言うなら、エロパティシエ？
エロパティシエ。はい、私変態です。
4匹も恋猫のいる。
Well, that's... She's not wrong, though, so I just shut up. I'm not making her work overtime because I want to start a love affair, though. Still, I've got enough common sense to know that with 4 captains, I'm not really convincing anyone. I turn my gaze away from Maple and look up at the night sky.
それは別に本人らが満足してるんだからいいけどね。私が口出すことじゃないし。
She glances at me with mischievous eyes and a wry smile. Is she the one who's unhappy? I hear her grunt before looking up at the sky with me.
見たでしょ？あの動画。私がいくつの時だと思ってんのよ。あんな子猫の頃の馬鹿げた夢なんて、とっくに忘れたわ。
Her tone is wistful. Her answer is blunt and unaffected. But you still think about it now, don't you? Yep. Her expression stiffens. But she quickly relaxes. And when she speaks again, it's in the same aloof tone.
なわけないでしょうが。ちょっとチヤホヤされたくらいで勘違いする年だとでも思ってんの？そもそも猫が夢とかバカなこと言ってんじゃないわよ。
Maple. The comments on the video all said something similar. Siema. Nekopara Vol.3. Także parę volumów wyszło. Jest 0, 1, 2, 3, w którą teraz gram i jest jeszcze extras. Także gierka jest wizualną walką. Generalnie czytasz, widzisz obrazki, które składają się w całą historię, którą tutaj opowiadają. Także nic konkretnego tak naprawdę nie robisz, nie? Tak właśnie wyglądają wizualne walki, nie? Jeśli chodzi o gierki. Ja czytam generalnie swoje kwestie. W chwili obecnej wcześniej czytałem całość, ale zostałem ochrzany od innych widzów, że nie mam czytać wszystkiego, wieki ci to zajmie. Albo że drewniano szczytasz. No cóż, nie od razu Rzymy zbudowano. Dobra, lecimy. Because she's a cat girl. I tak, po angielsku czytam. Nie ma spolszczenia niestety do tych gierek, więc... no. Tak to wychodzi. Nie ma lekko. I can see that one word waiting down on maple. Jeszcze mam problemy z niektórymi słówkami, żeby wymówić. Zardzewiały mi trochę ten angielski. Stary dziad jestem zresztą jeszcze. Wstyd, że mówić. But everything she said just now seems a hollow. I'm not sure she believes in herself. If that's true, then how did you get so good at singing? I stop in my tracks and hurl the question at her.
歌唱
She turns to me. Seeing her eyes widening, I continue without hesitation. There's no way you could get that good without practicing. Her brow furrows with unease, and she cast her gaze downward. The casual air that had surrounded her when we were side by side is nowhere to be found. At the bottom of my field of vision, I notice her wringing her pale, slender hands. Okay. I take a step toward her and pat her slumped head. The people who eat my cakes. I'm always so happy to see their smiles. She raises her head. Had you asked me before? That's why I wanted to become a pastissier.
歌唱
Talking about myself is a little embarrassing. A recount smile drifts onto my face and I continue. Ever since I was little, my dad told me that I would be studying to make Japanese sweets. I never considered that I had any other choice. So I did as he said and studied how to make Japanese sweets.
歌唱
She doesn't say anything else. Maple stares right at me, waiting for me to continue. Since my family has some ancient traditions, my upbringing was pretty strict. Playing with friends, club activities, hobbies. I had to forego all of them for the sake of studying the family trade. Well, not that I regret at all. Even after all this time, I still don't. I can't make the bitter smile on my face go away. Maple's eyes are wide and bright as the moon at this point, but I keep going. But one day, I went to a pastissier by myself. Everyone here looked so happy eating their cake. Everyone, even those who might to be austere or sad otherwise. Every single customer had a smile on his or her face. I recall the memories of that visit, and I give voice to even the parts I had locked away in my heart. Before, I was completely focused on my family's trade and saw nothing else. Then, someone asked me, what is it that you are making these sweets? Back then, I really don't know what I have been doing up until now, that point. I struggled with it, but I decided that I wanted to be like that person. I wanted to make something that I could put a smile on anyone's face when they ate it. Enough that I was willing to give up all that I had worked so hard and so long for. Maple's expression hardens, and I watch her ears turn toward me to take in every word. So I give voice to every last sentiment. My dad, as well as others around me, said many harsh things to me, but I knew I had to be true. It had to be true to myself. I decided to turn toward my own dream, no matter what those around me thought. I caused a lot of trouble for Sigurd and our mom, and I did some incredibly dumb things. Maybe there could have been a brighter future for me somewhere along the line, but right now I'm happy. This time my smile isn't bitter or recurrent. The smile I show Maple is the one that reflects my true feelings. Before I know it, Maple's fingers, which she had clasped together so tightly, have loosened up. Still, if I thought my dream was stupid, I wouldn't have followed it. We each let out a little chuckle. I put my hand on Maple's head one more time. That's why I plan to listen to what others have to say. That's why I couldn't just leave you alone, Maple. Her smile is completely devoid of the mischievousness I saw earlier. With renewed vigor, she straightens up, standing up to her full height. I couldn't stop if I wanted to. Everything that just happened seems like it took a place in a dream. Maple's laughs sounding more relaxed than usual. Maple sounds like she's trying to convince herself of that. I nod to her in agreement. She raises her head and replies with a small nod of her own. Huh? Cinnamon? Maple turns and I follow her gaze. Gotcha!
気づいてないとでも思ってたの？うち出てからずっとついてきてたのなんか気づいてたし。ちゃんと慎重にしてたのに。
Cinnamon recurrently drags herself out of hiding. Cinnamon, were you following us the whole time?
その、めいちゃんとカシオさんが気になっちゃって。あ、別にエッチなことを想像したんじゃないですよ。本当にただただめいちゃんが心配だっただけで。わざわざ断らなくてもそんなこと思ってないわよ。カシオのこともどうせシナモンの入れ知恵でしょ。それは別に入れ知恵ってわけじゃなくて、どうしたらいいかわからなくて相談したっていうか、別に怒ってないでしょうが、まったく。
Maple tenderly pats Cinnamon heads.
ありがとね、気にかけててくれて。それと、この ありがとう。
She smiles awkwardly. Nonetheless, she dialects with thanking Cinnamon.
よかった。よかったよ。めいちゃんに嫌われちゃったかと思って心配だったから。嫌わないわよ、あの程度のことで。ずっと一緒にいるんだからわかるでしょうが、そのくらい。でも
Cinnamon starts to sob uncontrollably. And Maple pulls her into a hug, comforting her. The relationship is so sweet. Without an ounce of hesitation, I smile at the two cat girls to pet both of them.
歌唱もありがとね。しぐれには自分から相談してみるわ。
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Maple's face lights up in a smile as she nods to me. I pat both of their backs. Now, how about we head home?
そうね、帰りましょう。
Yep.
めいちゃん、歌唱さん。シナも鼻水超出てるから。もうメソメソしてないでちゃんとしなさいってば。はい、ティッシュ。ごめんなさい。はいはい、怒ってないから泣かないの。
It feels like we have all gotten a little closer to each other. Side by side, the three of us head home to where the others are waiting for us. Not bad, not bad.
歌をちゃんと勉強したい？まあ、それはとても素晴らしいことではないですか。私にできることであれば全力で応援しましょう。いいの？いきなり家を出てストリートミュージシャンからというならば反対はしますが、夢を持って頑張りたいというのであれば私がそれを応援しない理由がないでしょ。いや、まあそれはそうかもしれないけど。
The fact that Shigure gives in so readily is kind of anticlimactic. But like Shigure said, it's up to Maple to decide what she wants to do. So there's no reason for her mother figure not to cheer her on. It seems perfectly natural to me.
ただ、やるなら一生懸命にやりなさい。途中で投げ出すなど適当で半端なことだけは許しません。自分から言っておいてそんなことしないわよ。それにそんなぬるい覚悟で言うわけないでしょ。ならばよし、励みなさい。
Her arms are crossed, and her response is immediate. My dear little sister is too handsome for her own good. I should expect nothing less from the cat girl's little mother, though. She nods, satisfied, and I stare at her with a hint of admiration in my eyes. よかったね。頑張ってね、めいちゃん。Yep. 頑張ろう、頑張ろう。
ショコラも応援するよ。めいちゃんの歌めっちゃいいから。うんうん。たまには家族サービスしてほしいくらいには期待してる。はいはい、ありがとう。がっかりされない程度には頑張るわ。いっちょ前に照れ隠ししやがって。メープルお姉ちゃんは素直じゃないからね。うるさいわね。私は私のためにやるだけなの。メープル